Hola, hola, hola a todos, es tu prima favorita and welcome back to the Cousins Corner. It is tu prima favorita, Bobby here, and I just like to talk. And as you can see, I am in a different location because I'm just toying with everything in my house and where I want to be and want to film. So I am underneath mis escaleras, but I'm also like, I set up a little work nook down here. So if you follow me on TikTok or Instagram, you'll see the little change that I made and you'll have a better understanding where I am. But anyway, that's not what I came to talk about today. What I came to talk about is a quick little video. I always say they're gonna be quick and they'd be like 20 minutes, but something that I've been like thinking about, or something that I have made of recent like short toward TikTok or whatever about, and it's just like how some of our abuelitas, even our parents, great grandmas, and sometimes grandfathers were victims. And if you've been on the TikTok or on the YouTube, you might have seen some videos that talk about that as well, how dudes are like, let's go back to the good old days or whatever, where women used to this, that, and the other. And then there's a lot of people who were just coming and telling and sharing stories about how their grandparents met, how their grandfather stalked their underage grandmothers. One girl was talking about how her grandpa basically kidnapped her grandmother when she was underage, by the way, and then told her father, like, basically, you might as well just let me marry her because obviously I can get her anytime I want. Like, you're not going to stop me. And he basically gave his daughter over. People trading their daughters for, I won't even say dowries, for cows and farms and money and all of that stuff. And granted, you know, different times, different things, but then also it's like, why would we want to go back to that? Like, there was this one story that was talking about how this pastor said that he was dropping his daughter off at school and he saw another little girl on the bus and he was like, the Lord told him that that was his wife. And the church applauded. I literally cannot even fathom how people thought that was okay and nobody said anything about it. And I'm like, y'all are talking about the good old days? Where some of our grandmothers didn't even have a choice with marrying our grandfathers. And then on top of that, it's not even stories like that, right? Because some people have great stories. Like, they met when they were in their 20s, they got married, they had a great family, great life, yada, yada, yada. But then there's also parents and grandparents who revealed just how jacked up their marriages were. And I'm not saying any of this to speak out against marriage. Like, I'm a person who desires to be partnered. I love when people find love, whether they get married or stay lifetime partners or whatever the case may be. But it was just really interesting to me, and it sent me on this rabbit hole of where I was just like, I don't know, I was just listening to people's stories until I got to a point where I was like, okay, I cannot, this is like too much going into my head. But it always makes me think, like, is this what y'all are talking about when y'all say y'all want to go back to the good old days when dating was easier? Because some of our grandparents were literally out here pursuing children. I can't even say pursuing because some of them didn't even have a choice. Like, I am confusion. That was just very, very weird to me. And I'm just curious to know, like, how many people have like talked to their grandparents and kind of heard, I don't say like weird stories, but things that kind of make you go, Because what it made me think about, like, there was an age gap between my grandparents. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I believe my grandma was in her teens, I'm sure. My grandfather was a bit older than her. But it made me just think about, like, one, how common that was back in those times, and then two, like, how did we not stop and do anything about it? Because when I think about even myself, like, I think about me at 8 years old, even me at 12. One, my mother would not have ever gone for something like that. God bless her. She would have not ever gone for something like that. But I'm just like, think about, like, not even, I already didn't have childhood because I was raising kids that were not my own, but that's besides the point. That's another story for another time. But just thinking about if someone was to be like, yeah, you're gonna go stay with this man now and you're gonna go be his wife even though you're still a child, and you're gonna go cook and clean for him and start having kids as soon as you're old enough. to wear a pad. Like, I'm sorry, what? I barely know how to bathe myself correctly, and you want me to go rear children? Like, that is so crazy to me. And I don't even like talking about this. This kind of makes me uncomfortable to talk about, but it's been on my brain ever since I went down that rabbit hole. Y'all, be careful of the rabbit holes that you go down, because they will send your brain in a frenzy sometimes. And I'm not gonna make this video like super long about it, because I don't really have anything to add to that conversation other than that was a crazy time. And I'm so glad that as women, we do have rights now, and we can make those choices for ourselves as adults. If I want to be with this man, or entertain this man, or marry this man, because it's just crazy for me to just think about the fact that we were really out here being given away by our brothers and our dads and our moms or whatever to grown dudes that really didn't have good intentions for us. Like, I don't know, curious to know y'all's thoughts. This was kind of like a random video, but when something's on your mind, get it off. Everything is content. I don't know, but yeah, so just drop your comments, or even your stories if you talk to your abuelas, your abuelos, and aunts, uncles, tias, great grands, whatever. Drop down in the comments below and let me know what you think. I will catch you on my next video. See you next time in the Cousins Corner. It's tu prima favorita, Bobby. Bye.